Boy, this has been rumbling on for a while, this one. This has been going on for a little while now. The little dust up, well, this little dust up between the actor Daniel Radcliffe and the author J.K. Rowling, obviously. So let me go straight in on this one, yeah? And I'll drop my own little sign on this. Because, you know what I mean? Boy, listen. According to the Guardian article, which I'm going to use, trans women are women. Daniel Radcliffe speaks out after J.K. Rowling tweets. The Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe has spoken out over J.K. Rowling's recent comments about the trans community and says he hopes they will not taint the series for fans. The statement comes in response to a series of controversial tweets from Rowling over the weekend, and she's made quite a few over quite a long period of time now. So yeah, this is something that's been going on. Rowling took issue with a headline on an online article discussing people who masturbate and said, "I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Whoopun, whatever that means, I don't know." Critics accuse her of being transphobic, an allegation Rowling strongly denies. She responds by saying, "I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans." Bradford now, however, came back and said, well, Bradford came back, and Edward Bradford, as we know, who rose to fame after playing the schoolboy wizard Harry in the blockbuster book series and adaptations in film, came back and simply said, "Transgender women are women." Okay, okay. Let me say this, conversely. It could be said, maybe, just maybe, that this could be an attack on biological women, women that are seen as biological, yeah? Normal women, okay? Now, I have to edge carefully when I say that because I'm talking about normal women, they're naturally born women, okay? I'm not going to use any of these. I'm not going to use any of these modern terms. Okay, I'm going straight in. Okay, simply because when we look at society as it is, okay, you know, it's my belief. Someone being trans is one thing. A normal woman being normal is one thing. Okay, but why are we trying to compare the two or cross them both over or put one in one's path? One's okay. I understand that in sports, you know, there will be that overlap where the two meet. But then again, like I say, let those that are trans have their own events. Same way heterosexual men have their own events and so forth. Okay? But that's just blurring the lines. Okay? Very careful what I'm saying here. That's just blurring the lines. But as it is, okay, when we look at society, yeah, these are some people's theory that right now, a little while back, it was the GAY agenda. Now it's the trans agenda. And having spoken to people in the GAY community, they're saying they should be left alone. And I'm sure a lot of trans people will say the same thing because they feel they're being used as a pawn in the game. Whereas, and this is what some gay people have told me, GAY people have told me, that they don't like the idea of being used as a pawn in the game by politicians because it seems that a lot of it's to do with, dare I say it, population control. And that's not being a conspiracy theorist because this is their theory, not mine. Whether I concur with it, that's something else. But they're saying politicians are using our agenda, obviously. So and the more that grows and becomes more popular, there'll be because as some people naturally assume and maybe assess and maybe even confused about their sexuality, the fact they may entertain that sexuality may conversely lead to a coupling, and as we know, GAY people cannot reproduce. That's fact. So that's the case, then boom, you're going to see a decline. Okay? So this, as well as that, can be seen as an attack on biological women, but that's something else. Okay? Are trans women, in my opinion? No. I mean, and this is it. I mean, and a lot of the media, the media and those in power are very smart because they know people listen to the media. They know media dominates and dictates how people think. So if we put this in the media, then naturally people will adhere to that. You know, because I've got close friends, and I'm giving them a dubious side eye because these guys are doing some dubious things. But there'll be a point where these things won't be seen as dubious anymore. They'll be seen as the norm going forward. I mean, you know, I've guys that you'll be surprised going to Thailand having rub downs by men that are born men and now women. And you can look at any Thailand video, there's a plethora of men who you'd think to be straight that would be having dalliances with petite, short, thigh, transsexual men and women, whatever you want to call men, women, whatever. So again, and that's how it's going now. And don't forget, there's this ongoing gender war at the moment between men and women anyway. So again, this all plays into hand, which arguably goes back to my idea that there's kind of a war on women, biological women. But anyway, I digress. These things are factors. Is Daniel Radcliffe right or wrong? Not for me. Not for me. I'll say this, and it gets deep. Some transsexual women are extremely convincing, you know. And it's got to a point now, in some cases, some people actually argue, hold on a minute. If, for example, a man, say John, steps to, let's say, think of a unisex name, Jamie, yeah? That could be a guy or girl's name. John steps to Jamie, who is trans, he approaches her, gets talking, and he goes on and on and on. Okay? Technically speaking, you approached a woman that is transsexual, but approached on the pretext of her being a woman. So some people will say, what's the difference? Especially if they've had, you know, gender reassigned surgery. It gets deep. It gets deep. In my opinion, of course, that's me, no. But for everybody else, you do you. But it's a deep one. Daniel Radcliffe, of course he's wrong. But then again, I think he's pampering to the left because he's actually of that left, that kind of like liberal left field, and that's what they believe. You know, go to America, Kamala Harris, same thing. He's part of that liberal left, fluffy, soft. Keir Starmer said the same thing. Women, transgender women are women. He put it out as a blunt statement, but didn't get any pushback. Starmer said the same thing. And they're part of that same liberal left, fluffy. I mean, you know, I've spoken to Starmer. I've engaged with Starmer on a level. Me and him, you know, and how he's played out now as a prime minister. I predicted this how it would play out. He'd be very hands off, and that's part of it. Statement: trans women are women, and that's it. And it all plays out, and how it plays out is how it plays out. Whereas a Trump would be, nope, that's not it. Boom, XYZ, done. But hey, look at some Facebook comments before I wrap this up quickly, because you know, on other news, I identify as a millionaire, and the bank must respect that. See, we can be ambiguous, you know. Another one. In their minds, but in reality, science trumps fantasy. There you go. That's if you believe if we believe science trumps reality. There you go. Another one. Oh well, his profession is acting. That's a funny one. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. Well, Daniel is right and wrong. He is right that trans people should be respected. I agree they should be, but they also need help. Some people say that it's a mental health issue. pay. He is wrong that a trans woman is a woman, scientifically incorrect and an insult to actual women. The latter I agree with. And one last one. Good for him. He has every right to his opinion, even if his opinion is wrong. There you go. All right, then let me wrap that one up. And it is what it is. All right, then later.